Welcome to Freed on Business. He grew up in South Florida, has been in business here since the early 90s, and has closed over $3 billion in deals. He's seen it all. He always has an opinion, and he's always ready to share it. Informed, entertaining, and connected, he has his finger on the pulse of South Florida's business community. He's Jim Freed, and this is Freed on Business.
Hey, everybody. Welcome to Freed on Business number 874. We're going to talk about why it's a good time to have a private lender for your residential real estate deal. Probably works for commercial, too, actually. I just closed well, I guess it is a commercial deal if it's a private lender, almost by definition. I just closed a $2.5 million loan for a high net worth investor that's building an investment home in Palm Beach County on the water. It was partially up. We had to close out the deal and then refinance it, refund it. The fact that we used a private lender was very important. We're going to talk about why that's important, why it's more in vogue today than ever before, and why you should consider it for your transaction, what transactions it makes the most sense for. I want to thank our sponsors, Warren Henry Automotive. Thank you to Larry, Eric, Ismet, the rest of the team over there, Gerald, Brandon, our friends at Warren Henry Automotive. And I want to remind everybody we're streaming live on LinkedIn, Twitch, Facebook, Instagram. And if you missed today's show, you'll be able to catch it on all the podcast streaming services. And now on with the show. So why is it good to have a private lender? Its reason is it's because a strong private lender is necessary because the market is becoming less predictable and more difficult to navigate than ever before. And flexibility matters. For instance, the banks will tell you they're in the marketplace, but banks have tightened their lending standards, and there's many types of loans they won't do. They're scrutinizing borrowers heavily. And for instance, I can get a loan for a foreign borrower that perhaps you might not be able to get at a bank. Perhaps the bank can't handle the value add aspect of what you're doing, which was the case here with the residential construction loan. So flexibility and doing things that the banks won't do really helps. Speed always helps. Time kills all deals, and the private lender can move really fast. From the day we said hello to the day we closed on this deal was only 3 weeks, and that was mostly because of the time required to get all the paperwork done. To be able to operate on a distressed off-market situation, which is becoming more and more likely here in the market, the higher interest rates and the rising carry costs, these are making sellers more and more motivated, and having quick access to capital from somebody that knows you is important. That, again, is the private lender. And creative financing is more valuable than ever today. And in certain size range of transactions, primarily below $20 million, it's less and less an institution or a private den fund, and it's more and more a private lender or a group of people creating a syndicate to do your private loans, to do bridge loans, rehab, interest-only payments, cross-collateralizing multiple properties. If it's creative, it's less and less likely that a traditional lender will do it. With the risk of refinancing, it really helps to use short-term capital. And it's really, these private loans are really very inexpensive equity more than anything else. They're more like equity than they are like debt. And so the cost of capital is lower, gives you a chance to stabilize your deal. The private lender can help you bridge the gap between a traditional loan and what the property would appraise for. The relationship matters more today than ever before. And the private lender, it's a personal situation between you and the private lender. I've done 2 or 3 repeat deals with private lenders and the same client over and over again, just because of familiarity with documents and people. And asset-based lending is helping the borrowers that are unconventional. And again, I'm working on a situation like that right now where there's incredible value in the asset, but the asset needs to be repositioned and rehabbed. And we're going to use a private lender to give us a bridge loan in the construction funds to get it across the finish line. And since it has an uncertain exit strategy, the private lender is going to tag on some extensions and other things that a traditional lender wouldn't do. Of course, the trade-off is cost. Private money is higher interest rates, more points, and the loan term is shorter. But in the end, it allows you to do a deal that you might not have been able to do otherwise with an institutional lender or with a other traditional bank source. So stick with me. We're going to talk about the bottom line. And remember, if I can help you with one of these private loans, give me a call. I know a number of private lenders, and I can help you shop the private loan marketplace to get you the best loan that you want to get. And now, a word from our friends at Warren Henry. Hi, everybody. I want to thank our friends at Warren Henry Automotive, Larry, Eric, Ismet, Warren, of course, all our friends at Warren Henry Automotive who help my friends and I and my family ride in comfort and style. And we always get treated with Warren Henry Advantage. That means that they just treat us like family. They'll meet your needs. Join me, my mom, my beautiful wife, Vivian, lots and lots of my friends and clients. We work with Warren Henry. They've got a big store down in the Keys that carries all their name brands. They've got an award-winning Land Rover, Range Rover store in South Dade and West Broward. They've got their headquarters store at 151st and Biscayne, where you can buy Land Rover, Range Rover, a Jaguar, and Lincoln. They're always the best price. They're always the best service. It's always Warren Henry. Miami Podcast Studios, take it away.
Welcome back to Freedom Business. Connect with us on LinkedIn, YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter at Jim Freed or at Freedom Business, and on Instagram at Jim Freed1. Now, back to your host, Jim Freed.
Hi, I want to remind everybody to reach out to me, Jim Freed. I'm a founder of Sandstone Realty Advisors. We help family offices, high net worth investors, and international and U.S.-based institutions deploy their real estate capital in creative ways. I've been talking today about some of the private loans that I've been working on. I want to remind you that reach out to me, give me a call. We can help you build and execute your business plan. If it's something having to do with real estate or private equity, give us a call. Lots of people do. And if you missed today's show, you can find it on all of the podcast services, all the platforms, Spotify, YouTube, Instagram, Facebook. We're all over the place. And now for the bottom line. The bottom line on private lending is that the good private lender today isn't just a loan source. They're your partner. They're actually very cheap equity when you stop to think about it. And the flexibility and strength that they bring to the table is essential in getting transactions done in today's dynamic and changing world. And with the inability to see what the future is, having a partner that can bring the capital you need to the transaction is more valuable than ever. Give me a call, reach out to me. I can help you get a private loan from $2.5 million to $20 million. And if it's an institutional transaction, even more than that. You've got all my contact information. So reach out to me, give me a call. I want to thank our friends at Warren Henry. I want to thank our other sponsors, the Bergstrom Center for Real Estate Studies. I want to thank our friends at Miami Podcast Studios. And I want to remind you that the person that wants to do something finds a way, the other finds an excuse. Now go out there and make it happen. God bless you, and God bless the United States of America. Miami Podcast Studios. The rest of the show is yours.